Good morning, traders. Matt Weller here, Global Head of Research with FOREX.com. Today is Wednesday, the 29th of July, 2026, and as always, markets are focused on developments in the Middle East. However, we also have some key data releases out of the US, including the FOMC meeting. In today's video, I'll break down everything that you need to know ahead of today's US session. Let's get into it. So the recent escalation in the Middle East is perhaps not surprising if you've been following the news in recent months, but there is something uncanny about it, and that's the fact that this is, as far as I can tell, the first time that Iran has initiated new attacks to break the pause on strikes that we've seen lasting since this weekend. Iran launched drones and missiles at U.S. Air bases in Jordan. Most of those were shot down. However, again, this is Iran showing escalation dominance here, suggesting that the pause may be benefiting the U.S. more than Iran, and that's certainly something that is a sign of concern. Separately, Iran has rejected the Omani proposal on joint management of the Strait of Hormuz, something that had boosted risk assets yesterday. And finally, we see the Houthis suggesting that they could look to charge tolls for use of the Bab al-Mandeb Strait in the Red Sea. So basically, the news on the geopolitical front in the Middle East is essentially all negative, so it's not surprising that we see oil prices spiking 5% to erase most of the early week losses. Separately, we see South Korean stocks falling yet again, though off the lows of the day where they had previously been falling 13%. Looking at the Kospi, that moderated to around 6%. That's leaving U.S. indices mixed ahead of the U.S. Open and the U.S. dollar roughly flat. In terms of economic data during the Asian session, we saw a softer than expected Australian CPI report that came in at just 3.8% on a year-over-year headline basis versus 4.0% expected. That has the Australian dollar as the weakest major currency and has pushed back expectations for additional interest rate hikes from the Reserve Bank of Australia. More on that momentarily. And then finally, looking ahead toward today's U.S. session, the FOMC meeting carries more ambiguity than we've seen in 3 to 6 months here about what the FOMC will do. See my full preview video of that meeting from yesterday for a full breakdown there. Also a preview report on FOREX.com itself. And then after the closing bell, we'll have earnings from Microsoft and Meta. That comes ahead of Amazon and Apple tomorrow. Lots to digest here, and that could have a lot of volatility heading in to the end of the month. Today's chart of the day is the Australian dollar versus the US dollar here on a 4-hour basis, and you can see a picture perfect textbook head and shoulders pattern has formed just around the 70 level, with the market previously putting in higher highs and higher lows. Now it's transitioned to an environment where it's putting in lower lows and lower highs. If we use what's called the measured move objective strategy, that suggests that we could see a move of the same height from the neckline to the head, downward from the neckline, or basically putting the Aussie as a potential target down around the 69 level. We also have previous support from earlier this month in the 69.10 area. So both of these technical indicators are suggesting the potential for more weakness in the Aussie. We'll see if the market cooperates as it continues to digest developments out of the Middle East, the FOMC meeting, and major earnings, which could have an impact on risk appetite more broadly. That is today's video. Thank you for carving a couple minutes out of your day to watch. If I could ask just one quick favor before you go, though, please do drop a like on this video. It's a free way to show your support that will help us with the algorithms. And if you're not already, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel at FOREX.com for more videos like this. Thanks, and best of luck with your trading today.